Hi folks, and welcome back to Back in the Day with the Suburban Experimentalist. And as you know, if you watched my Sheets video, I spent my formative years in Gettysburg, PA. Certainly the latter part of elementary school. I think I moved out to PA when we were in the 5th grade, or when I was starting the 5th grade, and then junior high, and of course high school. And to us there's a place in Gettysburg that is pretty important to us geeks, of which I was one, and I'll show you what it is. So as you're going by the military park in Gettysburg and you're driving on, let's say, Route 15. So here's Route 15, here's the Gettysburg Park, and you're coming into town. And it looks like you're going down Baltimore Street. And up here was the Gettysburg College. And then Route 15 kind of went on, but let's zoom in here and let's see what we can see if I can find that road. I found it a minute ago. There's a stoplight, and it of course is Route 15. So as you're traveling down Route 15, you're going to take a right. The Gettysburg College is on your left. You're going to take a right at the stoplight. You're going to head down. There used to be a hotel here. I don't know what's there now. I think it's the Econo Lodge, and it was a small motel and had a pool. So then you came around here, and there was somewhere in here, there was a convenience store. It might have been a Highs, I'm not sure. But as you're driving down here, you see where there's Wise Markets, and now today there's Hack. And things have changed quite a bit in the shopping center. It used to be a shopping center, and of course the Hack wasn't there. Harrisburg Area Community College. So let me zoom in here. In this bank, there's a bank up here. I'm not sure the parking lot was as big as it is now. But anyway, back in the day when I was a kid, there was a bank here. And then I have rollerbladed down this hill. And then the Wise Market was here when I was a kid. And there was a radio station up in here, or a transmit station and antennas. So anyway, the Hack wasn't here. I think there was an Ames department store. First there was a King's department store, and then there was an Ames. And then along here there was like a Hallmark and things like that. I think there was a shoe place. And down in here towards the end somewhere was the Radio Shack, which was very important to us geeks, and I'll explain why. And then down here, in this area here, was the Kelly Tire place, which many of you probably haven't heard of Kelly Tires. But it was a great place. Kelly tires were pretty good tires. I put them on my 72 Monte Carlo. But the service here was really good. I can't say they were busy all the time, but the service was good. And anyway, Radio Shack was in here. And just a little side note, at one point we had a 100-year flood here in Gettysburg. I think we had 11 inches of rain an hour. I think like 6 bridges washed out. And this whole shopping center was underwater. You could see that the water was like 8 feet up the buildings. But anyway, there's a Radio Shack there. And we got a lot of our needs. My parents got some of our needs there, like CB radios and aerial antennas for the TV. So, we didn't have cable back in the day. We had about 30 acres. But anyway, there's a Radio Shack down here. It was up in here somewhere, and then it moved down towards the end. And at that time, I was an employee of Radio Shack. I was a, quote, manager trainee. But anyway, I was 16, and I wanted a big honking stereo. So I got my first stereo system there. I will take a picture and put it up. I think I got the STA 2150, which is 100 watts per channel. And I had 2 Mach 2 speakers, which were these big speaker boxes, and I've had them almost up until this day. I just recently gave them away because I wanted them to go to a good home because I wasn't using them. Now it turns out the surrounds around the speakers were rotten. They were the newer kind, which I think was foam, and they lasted about 20 years. So anyway, I gave them to a friend. I didn't give them to him, I sold them to him. They're great speakers, but I wanted them to go to a good home. But anyway, that's where I bought my first stereo system. And I had 100 watts per channel, and I had these Mach 2 speakers, and I could rock the house. But Radio Shack in general is very important to us all. That's where I got my first speaker. That's where my parents went to get the TV antenna. This is where me and my geek friends, we all had, big honking stereo systems. That's where some of the quote geeks, I thought of them as geeks or dorks at the time, they got all their CB equipment. But we did love Radio Shack. We didn't hang out there or anything, but we often went in there. And the thing about Radio Shack is that the employees were very good, very smart, but at the time they thought they were a little smarter than they really were, which was a common thing that we all found out later. We thought they were brilliant, and then later in life, after we became educated, I guess, about electronics and other subjects, we found out they weren't as smart as they thought they were. They were still great, but anyway, we really loved it. And just recently I bought a shirt from there. Radio Shack is still actually in business. The Hobby Lobby has bought them out. They went bankrupt, and the Hobby Lobby has bought them out, and apparently they're trying to bring them back. And I will put an unaffiliated link below, and you can get your apparel there too. But I can tell you, I will wear my Radio Shack shirt with pride, my Realistic shirt, which is a brand that Radio Shack made, with pride. If you're from the 70s, probably Radio Shack shirts mean more to you than Realistic. I wish they had an Optimus shirt, because that's what I had. My stereo system was Optimus, and so were my speakers. So thanks for watching.